I'm fascinated recently with home automation, and we've all kind of had a little bit of home automation in our lives in the last probably 5 to 10 years. And I'm talking things like Google Home, where you can hook up your Yale locks to it and then on your phone, just be able to lock it or unlock it. There's the MyQ app where you can open your garage from your app. There's the Philips Hue app where you can turn your lights on and turn them off and then change the shading of them. There's the Kaza app that you can turn off and on smart links and smart hubs right from the app. But do you see where this is going? Because every single function that you want to do, you have to open up a separate app. And then pretty soon you have dozens of apps that do different things. You have apps for your Samsung washer and dryer. You have apps for the Vizio TV. All this creates friction on your phone because then you don't want to open all these different apps. You just want to do it manually because it's almost too much burden to remember what app controlled what. But there's a way to take it to a next level. Amazon kind of takes it to a next level with Echo. You can kind of connect all of your stuff in Amazon and then tell, hey, Alexa, turn on the hallway lights. That's one level. Google does the same thing. You have to pick an ecosystem and then stick with that. And if then your app doesn't connect to that ecosystem, you're kind of in a lurch. But I've been playing with a new app called Home Assistant, and this app can literally do way more than I ever could before. And I'm going to play with it a little bit and show you what I've been doing. And then maybe we can expand this to a whole series on how I'm using Home Assistant to automate stuff. So the first thing you're going to need is a computer to run the Home Assistant server on. I actually have this Mac Mini right here. It's an M2. I typically have used it for my home office or my second computer, but now I'm going to be exclusively using that just for my home automation. So the very first thing I did was I ripped every single non-essential app away from my Mac Mini. And that way there's only the core basic stuff. So I don't have anything running other than my VMs that I'm running on this machine. And how did I get those VMs? Let's go there. And there's a bunch of VM solution software out there like Parallels and VMware and everything under the sun. But the easiest to use, in my opinion, UTM virtual machines. Plus, I think it's $7. It's right here in the App Store. So I'm running two different versions of an OS on this VM. I have the Linux server going, and you can see that's running because there's no play button next to it. And then two, I'm running Windows 11 because I'm typically a Mac person at work and in personal, but I also sometimes need Windows 11. So I'm running two of those VMs. And more importantly, in this talk, Home Assistant is running on the very top, this Linux virtual machine. Where did I get that? Let's go there. And before we launch into VMs, we have to actually get the Home Assistant application on our Mac Mini. For this, just go back to the App Store. You're going to see two Home Assistants. One Home Assistant is the client that you can run on your desktop or your mobile. The second one is, which I'm running right now, is the server for Home Assistant. I believe it's like $13. So you can see server for Home Assistant. This gets you the Home Assistant on the Mac Mini itself. And this is where we're going to connect our VM. So I got the VM image directly from the Home Assistant website. I am running Linux. So I installed the VDI from the VirtualBox right here from this Intel chip. I downloaded that VDI and then I launched it in my VM. And then when you download the image, you'll actually get a zip file, unpack it, and then you'll see the VDI file that you need to attach to the virtual image. So when we go back to the UTM, we're going to see create a new virtual machine, and then you just point that virtual machine to your new VDI image, and boom, you have Home Assistant server running purely automated. And I won't go through all the technical gotchas and necks that you're going to need to run this. You just figure it out yourself or watch a YouTube video like I did. Now, I just started doing this dashboard yesterday, but you can see the basics of what I've put on this dashboard. For example, I have a Google Nest doorbell. I have it right here streaming on my front door on one of my dashboards. And here's what's at my front door. You can see that there's a blower. There you can see there's a construction guy doing some bathroom work, but I can see now right here from my doorbell, right from my Home Assistant webpage. And I didn't even have to open up Google to do that. I can just stream it right from Home Assistant. I also have automatic Yale locks hooked to Google Home, which again, I've put in here. So this front door is unlocked, but if I want to lock it, I can just toggle it on or off. Same thing with my back door. I also have Nest thermostats hooked up to my Google Home, but now I can control them right from my Home Assistant app. Upstairs is 71, living room, 73. I've also hooked up my Sonos system to my Home Assistant. So anytime I want to play Sonos right here in the basement, I can fire it up. Look at that. Beastie Boys, Paul Revere. Pretty good song. And this is just the basics of what you can do with home automation. So now you can already see I don't have to open up Google Home to do this. I don't have to open up Sonos to do this. So right off the bat, I've combined about 4 or 5 different features right into one Home Assistant app. And then there's also the Home Assistant app on your phone. So the same dashboard I have on my web browser, I could have on my phone. And that way I can control everything directly from my mobile phone. And now think about the workflow possibilities as I expand this. I'm going to connect my garage door openers to my Home Assistant. I'm going to connect all these lights to my Home Assistant. Then I can also connect things that are more advanced. For example, on this wall over here, which you don't see, it's all wood slats. And I'm going to control that with a bunch of LED lights. Again, I don't want to have a separate app to control all these LED lights. I'm going to hook it up to, this gets pretty nerdy, this Zigbee app right here. This is the power supply that Zigbee has for LED lights. And then I can run all my LED lights into that and then control all the LED lights, all the colors, all the brightness directly from my Home Assistant app. No separate app needed. Everything can run through Home Assistant. And then you can start making custom dashboards for information. Think about having an iPad or an Android device in your kitchen and you wanted to see the weather, or you want to see the tide schedule like I do because I live close to the ocean. I want to see all that in one dashboard. I don't want to have to open up the weather app or ask ChatGPT, what's the tide schedule? I want everything automated right there in front of me. That's what I'm building next. So I'll up the nerd level a little bit. I downloaded Codex for my personal ChatGPT, and Codex can then integrate with Home Assistant and then start creating dashboards on your behalf. You don't actually have to know anything about it. So this morning I said to Codex, connect to Home Assistant and build me a complete dashboard of the weather report. I want the tide schedule low and high throughout the day, and I want to create a fishing report all from one dashboard. And I didn't even do anything. Codex actually did it for me. If you haven't heard about Codex, do a Google search. You'll hear about Codex. It's super cool. So let's open up that dashboard that Codex created for me. So on my dashboard, I have high and low tides. By the way, there's 4 of them here in Charleston. I have the weather report, and I have my daily report of what fishing is going to look like in the top right-hand corner and what the temperature is. Now imagine creating a whole bunch of dashboards like a Sonos dashboard, and you can be able to control all the music playing out throughout your house. Maybe having a Google dashboard with all your home automation features like all your locks and your thermostat. Again, all from one application. So yes, I'm nerding out on Home Assistant a lot. I'm trying to automate everything in my office as well as in my home. So it's just super simple. For example, I connected Home Assistant to one button on my Stream Deck, and now I can control all the lights from one button. Check this out. I'm going to hook up the LEDs in another video, but you get the point. That's Home Assistant. I'm going to keep playing with it and see what else I can come up with. Patrick Kelly, the Tattooed Nerd.